Hare Krishna. What is the difference between human life and animal life? The modern science says man has come from the monkeys, so we should be very much similar, isn't it? The animals have four main activities. They eat, they sleep, they mate, and they defend themselves in various ways. Human beings do the same. We eat, we sleep, we mate, and we defend ourselves. Our defense comes in a little more sophisticated way, like you get educated, then you go for a job, or do so many other things to defend yourself. You build skyscrapers. Our way of defending ourselves is very different from that of animal. It is more sophisticated. But otherwise, the activity is the same. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defense. But human beings have something extra given to us by God. That is the sixth sense. The ability to be able to think logically and act. The animals do not have this. The animals cannot do the things that we can do. So when you have a facility that is more than the animals, the responsibility of a human being towards the universe is more compared to the animals. So in that very important way, we are very different from the animals. Now, why is our responsibility more? Let me explain with an example. You have a manufacturing unit and you have different grades of workers. You have the laborer who works for day wages, and then you have the topmost manager who earns the most. He's given a car, he's given all kinds of allowances. But technically speaking, the amount of energy that is spent in the work is more by the laborer. So the kind of energy he puts into the work is definitely more than the managing director who's sitting in an AC room. Then why is it that the laborer earns the meager amount of what the manager earns? This is the reason. If something goes wrong in the industry, in the organization, there is no responsibility on the laborer. He would just go claim his insurance, whatever, and he'll go home and look for another job. But whereas the managing director, he is fully responsible for what has happened. So he is answerable. He is answerable to the stakeholders. Why that thing had gone wrong. Nobody will go and inquire or question the laborer. That means the more facility you have in your life, the more responsible you are expected to be. Since you have the sixth sense, that is able to make you understand what is good and what is bad, you have the responsibility to understand, first of all, your own self. If you are also doing the same thing as the animals are doing, your life is no better than an animal life. If we want to actually lead a human life, that means we need to inquire about ourselves first. Why am I here in this world? Why am I forced to take birth again and again? Is there any way I can get rid of this cycle of birth and death? What is my goal? Where did I come from? After death, what happens to me? What is this entire universe? What is beyond this universe? So these are the questions that a human being asks, and that differentiates him from the animal life. So unless we as human beings ask these questions and seek to get answers for these questions, and once you get the answers, you act on these questions, ultimately helping us to get rid of this endless birth and death cycle, we will not be considered as human beings, or in the eyes of learned people, in the eyes of God, you will be considered as living an animal life. Hare Krishna.